Okay, so picture this, right? A man is just minding his business walking through the Arizona desert, and he stumbles upon a black plastic container just sitting there in the heat. And when he opens it, what he finds inside is going to make you put your phone down and stare at the ceiling for a good 5 minutes because it is that disturbing. And the person behind it all was not some scary-looking criminal. It was a woman who looked like she belonged on a Vegas stage in diamonds and heels. Let me tell you everything. So first, you need to understand who Marjorie is, because this woman lived multiple lives before any of this happened. She was married 7 times before she turned 35. 7. She was a showgirl, a dancer, a choreographer. She traveled the world. She dated a multimillionaire. And she was basically living a whole movie. And the multimillionaire she was with was not just any rich guy. He literally created upscale clubs around the world and put her face on billboards across Las Vegas. Like, her face was on a billboard on the Strip. So, this is not a regular woman we are talking about. This is a woman who knew exactly how to command a room and make people pay attention to her. But underneath all of that glamour, there was one thing Marjorie wanted more than anything, and doctors had told her at 18 that she could never have it. Stay with me because this detail is going to matter a lot later. Now, Jay Orbin was a completely different kind of person. He was a big, warm, generous man who owned a Native American arts business and had the kind of personality that made everyone around him feel good. He first met Marjorie at a club where she was dancing, and he was basically obsessed with her from day one. But young Marjorie was not interested in settling down with someone like Jay.
Would you like to go out with me sometime?
Oh, Jay, that's sweet, but no.
And then 10 years pass. Jay is now driving through Vegas, and he sees that billboard with her face on it, and he picks up the phone. They stay up talking until sunrise.
It's so good to hear your voice.
I've missed this. How have you been?
Better now. This feels right.
And just like that, the connection is back. And Jay makes Marjorie an offer that she genuinely cannot refuse. He tells her that he will pay for fertility treatments, marry her, give her a home and a family if she comes to Phoenix with him. Now, remember that thing I told you? She wanted more than anything in the world. Yeah, so she says yes. The fertility treatments worked, and Marjorie gave birth to a boy they named Noah. And by all accounts, that moment was everything to both of them. Jay's brother Jake came to visit and said Marjorie was the perfect housewife, cooking, cleaning, taking care of everything. From the outside, it looked like the perfect family. But here's where things start to get complicated. Marjorie was not happy, and somewhere along the way, she started looking for something outside of her marriage. And that something turned out to be a man named Larry Weisberg that she met at the gym. Now, remember that name, Larry Weisberg, because this man is going to be at the center of the most controversial part of this entire story. And I promise you, when we get there, your jaw is going to drop. So it is August 2004, and Jay is at his son Noah's 8th birthday party, and nobody at that party knows that this is the last time Jay will ever see his child. After the party, Jay leaves for a business trip to Florida. But there is a hurricane tearing through Florida, and Jay cuts the trip short and starts driving home.
Hey, Mom. I just got into Phoenix. I'll call you when I get home.
He calls his mother on September 8th, which is also his 45th birthday, and tells her he is just driving into Phoenix. And then, nothing. No calls, no texts, no Jay. His mother is getting frantic trying to reach him, and what does Marjorie say when the family starts panicking? She says,
He just left for another sales trip. He does this sometimes.
Another week goes by. Still no Jay. The family pressures Marjorie to call the police, and when the detective assigned to the missing persons case tries to get basic information from Marjorie, like the license plate of the car Jay was driving, Marjorie says she will call back. She never calls back, but she is doing something during this time. She goes and buys an almost $12,000 baby grand piano and pulls $45,000 from Jay's business account, while her husband is missing. When she was asked about the shopping spree later, she said she was in a daze. She was in shock. Okay, but wait, because it gets worse. The detective asks Marjorie to come in.
We'd like you to come in for a polygraph test.
And Marjorie is on the phone with her. And there is a man's voice in the background. And that man tells Marjorie to tell the detective
Tell her to go herself.
The police trace that voice back to Larry Weisberg, Marjorie's gym friend, Marjorie's boyfriend. Yes, while Jay was missing, she had a whole man living in the house with her and their son.
What? They're coming now? Larry, you have to run!
The police get a warrant and send the SWAT team in, and Larry Weisberg literally tries to physically fight the SWAT team when they show up. Who fights a SWAT team? A man with something to hide. That is who. Inside the house, police find something very important. All of Jay's credit cards and his business checkbook, the things he always traveled with. Which means Jay came home. He came home, and he never left again. 6 weeks after Jay went missing, a transient walking through the Arizona desert finds a black plastic Rubbermaid container. Inside is a human torso with no head, no arms, no legs, and no internal organs. A single bullet casing and a wad of cash are in there too. DNA testing confirms it is Jay Orbin. And here's the part that makes investigators look directly at Marjorie. Surveillance footage from a Lowe's hardware store shows Marjorie on camera, 2 days after Jay went missing, buying 2 Rubbermaid containers using Jay's credit card. The exact same containers Jay's remains were found in. The lead detective called it as close to a smoking gun as they were ever going to get. But then investigators find something else that nobody is really talking about. And it is going to completely flip this story on its head. Here's the thing about this case that keeps nagging at everyone. Larry Weisberg had a remote control to Jay's garage, like he could open and close Jay's garage from his car. So, what if Jay comes home from his road trip, pulls into the garage, and Larry pulls up right behind him? What happens in that garage? Nobody actually knows. And here's the part that should make you really uncomfortable. Hairs were found on the container with Jay's remains, and the crime lab refused to test all of them. The lead detective himself went on record saying he asked for those hairs to be tested, and was told no. He was later put on leave for speaking out about it. 2 of the hairs that were tested did not match Marjorie or Larry. So whose hair was it? Nobody answered that question. The trial goes on for 8 months. The prosecution paints Marjorie as a cold, calculating woman.
She wanted the life, the money, the child, and once she had it, he was no longer needed.
They bring in a former cellmate who claims Marjorie confessed to her in jail.
She told me exactly how she cut him, piece by piece.
And described in detail exactly how Jay was dismembered. Marjorie calls that an absolute lie. Then Larry Weisberg takes the stand. He was given immunity, meaning nothing he said could be used against him in court. Convenient, right? He sits up there and says he had absolutely nothing to do with Jay's disappearance or passing. When the defense attorney asks him point blank if he is always truthful, he says, and I am not making this up, he says,
Am I always truthful? To a point.
And that is the man the prosecution is using as their key witness. Marjorie's lawyers advise her not to take the stand because they believe the prosecution has not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Marjorie listens to them, she does not testify, and she regrets it immediately. The jury comes back in 7 hours with a guilty verdict. After the verdict, Marjorie finally says out loud what she claims she was too afraid to say before. She says Larry Weisberg came to the house that day, Jay came home unexpectedly, and caught Larry there. A confrontation happened in the garage, and Jay was gone. She says Larry then threatened her and her son's life, and told her that if she told anyone he did it, he would hurt Noah. She says he told her it was just that easy to snap his scrawny little neck. And so she stayed quiet. She helped cover things up. She bought the containers. She cleaned the garage with acid and epoxy paint to cover any trace of what happened. But she says she did not pull the trigger. Now, the prosecution says this is just Marjorie doing what Marjorie always does, using her son as a shield when she needs sympathy. And the detective says there is zero evidence that any threat to Noah ever happened. The truth of what really went down in that garage on September 8th, 2004, has never been fully proven to anyone's satisfaction. Larry Weisberg walked free. Marjorie Orbin is serving life in prison. And somewhere out there are hairs on a container that were never tested. Jay Orbin never got to see his son grow up. And Noah grew up without either of his parents. That is the part that sits with you long after everything else fades. If you're a lover of true crime stories, hit the subscribe button, drop a like and a comment, turn on notifications for more intriguing stories like this.